Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I am Anna, aka Lady Banana, loves diamond painting, and welcome to my whip and chat. Don't know whether I'll do much whipping, but I will be definitely chatting. If you are a new subscriber, welcome. If you're an existing subscriber, welcome. And how are we all doing today? As you can see, I'm working on a canvas from Diamond Painting Fanatics, and this is the canvas I'm working on, and it's called Knubbraroc, and it's from the wonderful artist Knubbraroc, and it's absolutely amazing. Yes, I am working on it upside down. That's because once I finish this section here, I will be flipping it round and working on the right way up. I find it a little easier sometimes. Well, I have got a tale to tell. For those of you know what's happened to me. For those of you who don't, I'll give you the backstory. The pen, I'll do that in a minute. The pen I'm using is this one, I Love Me, with happy smiley faces, and this was from Craftedmakes, single placer and a 3-placer. Putty I'm using is Cotton Candy from Merrymud. Absolutely smells delicious and it is amazing to use. Basic white tray, big boat, which came with storage that I've got. I've also got this other pen as well from Craftedmakes, single placer, and this one at the end has got a 5-placer on. It's stunning. But this is my favourite, the happy one, because that's the place I am in at the moment. It's a happy place. Okay, so a bit of a backstory. When I was 16, my parents split up and got divorced. Then my mum met my stepdad. Married, fell in love, got married, and lived happily ever after. No, well, they did. However, one year they were asked to go to Malta with friends of theirs. So they went for 9 years on the trot, round about December to January. Spent Christmas and New Year over there. So approximately 4 to 5 weeks at a time. Then one year whilst they were out there, my mum had an accident and broke her humerus bone. So when she came back, I had to have a steel plate in her arm because it had actually shattered it. So she couldn't travel for at least 12 months. So once I was given the all clear to start travelling again, they were going to go back to Malta. It was their happy place, lots of memories there for both my mum and stepdad. So they had been married for 34 years, which is a hell of a long time. And once she got the all clear, that dreaded virus came around. So everything was on lockdown, so they couldn't go. Once those restrictions were lifted, they were going to book up and go back. However, my stepdad suffered a stroke in February of last year, and it took all his right side in his speech, so they couldn't go, which is a shame because it would have been a great holiday, one last memory for them. My mum did manage to take him away in this country a few times before it got worse, but in February of this year he sadly passed away. So my mum decided after his funeral that she wanted to go back to Malta in May of this year and scatter his ashes. Got all the relevant paperwork to do that. However, she did fly out on the 1st of May. She was there a week, and then we had a call saying that nobody had seen her for a couple of days. Wasn't allowing the maids into a room. So my sister arranged a flight to go over with her husband And when they got over there, they found my mum in a room just staring into space. So they called the doctor, and the doctor had to admit her to hospital because she'd suffered a breakdown, nervous breakdown and a mental breakdown due to grief. We thought that she had scattered my stepdad's ashes, but she hasn't, not yet. So my sister and her husband were dealing with that all over in Malta, and then to help my sister go over, I flew over on the Monday. So I was over there, and she was admitted into a mental health hospital over in Malta to deal with her grief, and then eventually she came home. She flew home with me the following Monday, and we had to admit her to hospital in the UK, and it was a hospital where they actually deal specifically in older people with mental health issues. My mum is nearly 80, it'll be 80 in October. But finally, she has actually shown great improvement in her mental health, and she's talking about things a lot more now. And she was, on Tuesday of this week, she was finally discharged from hospital. So it's absolutely great that she has sort of started to get back to her normal self. My mum has always been active, and it was very difficult to see her the way she was. She's always been on the go, never stopping, caring for others rather than putting herself first. But then, while she was in hospital on the 5th of June of this year, I woke up early hours of the morning, couldn't breathe, pain in my left arm, jaw ache, I was cold, I was sweaty, I was clammy, I was being sick. My partner had fallen asleep downstairs on the settee, but my son is a night owl. So I went into his room and he says, "Mum, are you okay?" I went, "No, I couldn't breathe, I was like this." I was like that. And he says, "Where's Dad?" I says, "He's asleep downstairs on the settee, he's fallen asleep down there, so I've left him down there." So I managed to get downstairs with my son's help, sat on the settee, woke my partner up. He took one look at me and I says, "I'm calling an ambulance." Called an ambulance. The ambulance man came, took one look at me and says, "You're having a cardiac arrest." And it was a shock, because yes, I am 50 years old. I never thought I would have one. Thought it wouldn't be at least 10, 15 years down the road. But no, I was having a cardiac arrest. So they took me to hospital. This was arrived at the hospital about 3 o'clock in the morning. By 6:15, I was back on the ward after having an emergency surgery. What they'd found was a blockage in my heart caused by lifestyle, smoking, eating junk food, not eating healthily, build up of cholesterol, everything. So yes, I have gone through a lifestyle change, but also it was a contribution to the stress I may have been under due to the situation with my mum. But as I said, my mum is absolutely doing great now, which is absolutely fantastic, and I wouldn't be without my mum if anything happened to her. She's my best friend. But yeah, with me, they rushed me down to theatre. You see that little scar there? No, it's only tiny, but that's where they went in with a wire and balloon and a stent all through my vein into my heart, and put the stent in. So I've got a stent in my heart. I recently went on this Tuesday to the heart nurse, and what they have said is that it's actually heart failure as well. it won't get any better, but it won't get any worse because of the medication that I am on. So there's 6 lots of medication. One is called the GTN spray for angina. So if ever I feel pains in my chest, I need to spray that under my tongue. 1 to 2 puffs under the tongue for 5 minutes for 15 minutes. If it doesn't clear after that 15 minutes, then it's 999 right away. But touch wood, I've not had to use it, which is good. But some tablets I'm on, I've only got to be on for a year, but the rest of the tablets I've got to be on for the rest of my life. But yeah, with lifestyle changes, I've cut out all the junk food that I used to eat because I could live on crisps and nothing else, and eat no fruit. I would eat plenty of veg, but really, if I was hungry, I'd go to the cupboard and have a packet of crisps, something like that. But now I'm eating properly and looking after myself. So for those of you who do ask, yes, I am taking good care of myself now. Hint, hint, Kay and Cindy. But yeah, I love you guys and thank you for your support. But yeah, I have got to wait for another scan on my heart. So that should be happening, I said, next 6 to 8 weeks, because I want to see how that is performing, because the first scan I had the day after my heart attack, they said they work on that your heart should function at least 55%. That's their 100%. Mine was only functioning between 40 and 45%. So I've got to have another one soon to see how it's functioning, and hopefully it's gone up to at least 50%. I hope so anyway, fingers crossed. My blood pressure is absolutely perfect, and I actually feel great in myself. I have lost a little bit of weight as well because of starting to eat a lot more healthily. Instead of having 1 meal a day, I'm ending up having breakfast, dinner and tea. So plenty of fruit in the interim, but also starting to eat a lot more healthily. I end up only having 1 packet of crisps a day, and I have the baked crisps now, and I've got used to it. Also cutting down and packed up smoking, so I feel great with that. Still got a cough, but that's probably all the taste buds coming back alive after smoking for so long. But yeah, I am doing great. I'm doing a lot better, and I just wanted to share this with you guys because you guys are amazing. You've inspired me. You know who you are, who I'm on about. You've inspired me to create my own channel, do unboxings. Now that I'm sort of at least 90% better, I'm starting to get back into the swing of things of doing ribbon chats as well as unboxings. So yeah, that is my story, and I do, for anybody who is experiencing any form of chest pain or jaw ache, I mean, I've had jaw ache for ages, but I put it down to 2 broken teeth, one at the top, one at the bottom, and I thought it was all that, but no, jaw ache is one of the signs of having angina, and I didn't realise that. So with all the stress that I was under with the situation with my mom and dealing and coping with the loss of my stepdad, I think that was a contribution to the heart attack that I experienced. So anybody out there who is suffering any form of chest pain, regardless of whether it's an infection or anything, I highly recommend that you do get it checked out. as the ambulance man said to me, if I'd have left it any longer, well, I wouldn't be here to tell this tale. No, so anybody who is experiencing that, I highly do get yourselves checked out, because if it wasn't for West Midlands Ambulance Service, I saved my life, and I can't thank them enough. So I'm going to get all emotional in the mix. I still have my moments, still coming to terms with it, but the more I talk about it, the easier it gets. But yeah, I do thank you guys so much for following me and listening to me ramble on about what's happened. Yeah, if you do like this video, please hit the thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe. And you guys all take care, love you lots, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.